Welcome back to another edition of the In the Ring Show with your host, Devious Damien. What the fuck, WWE? What the fuck are you doing? Okay, first thing I'm going to talk about is WWE dropping the ball on several different occasions. First thing, they dropped the ball. Heath Slater facing Doink the Clown. Now, it was cool that he brought back DDP after the match and had him give him a diamond cutter. By the way, Randy Orton, take notes. That's how you fucking do that move correctly. But I digress. So they bring out Doink the Clown. What a fucking waste. You know who, if they could put both their egos aside, both their prides aside, you know who I would like to see come back and face Heath Slater? Hold on. I'll show you who I'd like to have come back and face Heath Slater. Listen to this music and you'll know. Okay, hold on just one second. I gotta turn the volume on my computer up a little bit here. So, I apologize for that. Okay, now listen. There we go. Now, for those of you who don't recognize that music, that was the Ultimate Warrior. Now you tell me, what fan, my age, maybe even a few years younger, who remembers him from the late 80s, early 90s? Tell me what fan, my age, or like I said, maybe a little bit younger, just a bit, wouldn't have a fucking mark-out moment seeing the Ultimate Warrior come out and destroy Heath Slater. I'd have one of the biggest mark-out moments ever if I saw the Ultimate Warrior come out, sprint to the ring, shake the ropes, do the whole fucking thing. Huge fucking mark-out moment. You know, another thing that WWE has kind of dropped the ball on is the David Otunga and Brodus Clay feud. Now, the reason I say they dropped the ball is their timing is shit. This feud would be much better served if John Cena had lost at No Way Out and Laurinaitis was still in charge. Because then you'd have a real purpose for this feud to be going on. Because then it could be, since John Cena's not around anymore to fight, you know, Laurinaitis, Brodus Clay is stepping up and taking that spot. And he feuds with Otunga. Then, you know, kind of rekindles his feud with the Big Show. There are so many things that you could have done with Brodus Clay had John Cena lost at No Way Out. Now you basically have him feuding with Otunga, and in my opinion, pointlessly. There's no point to this feud anymore. It's boring, it's stupid, and nobody wants to see it now. See, if I were booking that pre-show match at No Way Out, I would have made that match between Otunga and Brodus Clay more important than it seemed to be. Because then I would have had it where David Otunga walked out to save himself, so that way he could save Laurinaitis and make sure Laurinaitis won at the end of the night. That's how I would have booked it. So, but now, like I said, you've got these two feuding pointlessly, and I find it retarded. Another thing that WWE dropped the ball on. When Teddy Long said that he was going to have Antonio Cesaro and Oksana face the Great Khali and Layla, you put the Great Khali in that spot. You know, there's another superstar who needs a more defining win that you've been, you know, trying to build lately. Why didn't you put Ryback in that spot? Have him, you know, have him defeat somebody with a little bit more credibility. Granted, Antonio Cesaro doesn't have a lot of credibility in the WWE, but he damn sure has more credibility than these two 150-pound douchebags that they bring in week after week for Ryback to destroy. Another thing that WWE is dropping the ball on is I actually think that to kick off a legit feud for Ryback, they should have like, I don't know, maybe Tensai, maybe the Big Show, you know, some heel come out and cost him the match against the two jobbers. So then that way, you know, the heel gets to say, I made Ryback's first loss happen. And then, of course, Ryback seeks revenge on the heel who cost him the lose. WWE is not pursuing that, and somehow I don't think they will. They're dropping the ball on what could be a very serious start for a feud. And another thing the WWE has dropped the ball on, and this was a year ago, CM Punk, they dropped the ball on this big time. You know, they should have had him win the title, but then make people believe that he was staying out of the company, that, you know, he wasn't going to sign with him, he was going to take the belt. And they never should have had a tournament to determine a new champion. What they should have done is, you know, try to come up with a storyline where they were trying to make CM Punk return the belt. Excuse me. But CM Punk didn't return the belt, and even when they tried to forcefully, you know, make him return the belt, he would thwart their effort. You know, that's what the storyline they should have ran with. But instead they ran with the other crap, and it's lame, it's stupid, and I don't know. Another thing the WWE has dropped the ball on, at least it seems that they've dropped the ball, is a face turn with Dolph Ziggler. Now, some of you may not think that Dolph Ziggler would work very well as a babyface, and you're entitled to that opinion. However, I feel personally, he's kind of stagnant in the character he's in right now. And that little slap that Vicky gave him on SmackDown last Friday, they should play off of that and make that one of the things that facilitates a Dolph Ziggler face turn, So, you know, that's another thing I feel the WWE could do, you know, to kind of change things up. So, you know, I'm just saying there are so many ways that WWE could change things and, you know, make things better for themselves. And, you know, the WWE is just dropping the ball all over the place. They should have a feud between David Otunga and Cody Rhodes. And, you know, you could actually build a good feud with that, especially the way the tag team match ended tonight. So, you know, and, you know, I referenced the Doink the Clown Heath Slater match. God, was that match shitty or what? I mean, that match was the shits. For Christ's sake, I know the Ultimate Warrior is not the greatest wrestler ever, but for fuck's sake, I guarantee you, the crowd would have reacted a hell of a lot more for the Ultimate Warrior than they would have for Douchebag the Clown. Just saying. So, anyway, I mean, there are just several things that the WWE could be doing right now that they're not doing, and quite frankly, I feel that it's stupid. And, you know, another thing I think they should do at Money in the Bank is I feel it's time for CM Punk to drop the strap. Let Daniel Bryan have a run. Now, I know some of you CM Punk marks are going to come at me with, oh, you hate CM Punk, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't hate CM Punk. I just think that now's the time to let Daniel Bryan have his run, and you could build different storylines with, you know, Daniel Bryan as the champion. And, you know, I just think they'd be dropping the ball if they had Punk win. Not because I hate CM Punk, mind you, because I don't. I just think it's time for somebody else to have their run. Speaking of what the fuck moments when it comes to WWE, what the fuck was up with that bullshit ending to Raw tonight? So let me get this straight. You've got two of your top talents in the WWE right now, you know, participating in a match. And instead of, you know, that being enough, instead of that being enough of a focus point, now you got to have AJ come into this whole thing, you know. So basically, you want us to focus more on AJ than you do Punk and Bryan. Do you realize, WWE, how that makes Punk and Bryan look? Like you'd rather focus on a diva than you would some of your top talents? What kind of message are you sending there, WWE? I'd like to know what the fuck kind of message that's sending. Seriously. I mean, TNA doesn't do that shit. They don't, take away focus from their top stars to focus on the antics of some chick who belongs in a fucking loony bin. Just saying. I mean, I'm not saying they don't give their knockouts any... TNA doesn't give the knockouts time, but they don't make them the focal point in a storyline involving top guys. They don't do that. Because they know it's stupid. And what you're doing right now is stupid, WWE. It's fucking stupid. Knock it off. That's all I'm going to say. So, with that in mind, I'm going to close out this edition of the In the Ring show, but I leave you with a parting gift that I had for you earlier.